Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We are from Group 3 for the subject EDLE 2203, Phonology for English Language Teachers. Before we continue, we would like to introduce ourselves. My name is Balqis Zienirah binti Nor Azahar and my metric number is 2416996.
My name is Nor Adila Shafiqa binti Ahmad Nasruddin and my metric number is 2411724.
My name is Hawa binti Muhammad Nadzir. My metric number is 2414704.
My name is Nur Syazwani binti Saimi and my metric number is 2419858. For these assignments, the phonological processes we have selected are pronunciation problems in the context of ESL learners and intonation.
Let's begin with the first concept of our video, which is pronunciation. So what is pronunciation? Pronunciation is how a word or letter is said or said correctly in the way a language is spoken.
Pronunciation issues can affect not only clarity of the messages, but also confidence and ability to communicate. Therefore, it is important to identify pronunciation challenges to help improve English pronunciation.
Secondly, intonation refers to the rise and fall in pitch of the voice when speaking, which helps convey emotions, questions, and emphasis. The sounds or notes go up and down.
There are three main patterns of intonation in English, such are falling intonation, rising intonation, and fall-rise intonation. For example, I think we are lost. Are you thirsty? Is this your camera? And we believe that by focusing on pronunciation problem in the context of ESL learners and intonation, we are addressing key suprasegmental features of phonology that are essential for effective spoken communication.
So let's take a look at research rationale and problem statement. The reason we conducted this research is to analyze the differences between our participants' pronunciation and intonation based on their language and educational backgrounds.
The hypothesis for our experiment is differences in language education background among Malaysian ESL speakers alongside first language interference lead to noticeable variation in their English pronunciation and intonation patterns. The steps taken for our experiment included the backgrounds of the participants, the instruments for the experiment, and the procedure for our interview sessions. We use the qualitative method of experimentation for our experiment where we will ask the participant to read the instrument given. The procedures for the experiment included asking the participant about their educational background and their courses at university. Secondly, we will ask the participant to read the words, phrases, and sentences given. Lastly, we will ask them to answer an open-ended question freely. The instrument we used for this experiment included a few things. We had a word reading task to check how participants pronounce individual words. Then, we used a phrase reading task to look at both their pronunciation and intonation. Next, we had a sentence reading task to focus more on their intonation. And finally, we used spontaneous speech as an instrument to observe how they naturally use pronunciation and intonation in regular conversation. Next, let's introduce our participant.
My name is Nurul Iman Hani binti Muhammad Ilmi. I am 20 years old. I am from Sekolah Menengah Sains Sultan Ahmad Jiwa from Form 1 to Form 3 and SMK Taman Tun Dr. Ismail from Form 4 to Form 5.
Okay, my name is Suci binti Ahmad Yazi.
Okay, tell me a bit about your educational background.
Okay, I finished my high school at Sekolah Menengah Kebangsaan Agama Datuk Haji Abbas, and then I further my study in Centre for Foundation Study IIUM Gambang in band or English language, and I am currently doing my bachelor degree in English language and literature at IIUM Gombak.
Hi, my name is Nurul Bashira binti Hasanuddin. Currently, I'm taking FIC and also FIC course in UIA, and I used to study in Sekolah Menengah Agama Sultan Muhammad for STPM, and for secondary school in Sekolah Menengah Arab As-Sayyidah Khadijah.
Let's go to the findings!
Export simplification.
Export simplification.
First word, export, and the second is simplification.
I think you are right. Will you sell my car because I have gone to France?
I think you're right. Will you sell my car because I've gone to France?
I think you are right. Will you sell my car because I've gone to France?
I went to the lecture. It was great. The lecturer was clear. She asked if we had questions, but everyone just sat there.
I went to the lecture. It was great. The lecturer was clear. She asked if we had questions, but everyone just sat there.
I went to the lecture. It was great. The lecturer was clear. She asked if we had questions, but everyone just sat there.
Tell me about your morning routine in 2 sentences.
My morning routines would be as I wake up, I go to the toilet to freshen myself and prepare for the solar. And then I will get ready to go to the class.
My morning routine would be as I woke up, I go to the toilet to freshen myself and prepare for the solar, and then, I will get ready to go to the class.
My morning routines would be as I wake up, I go to the toilet to freshen myself and prepare for the solar. And then I will get ready to go to the class. My morning routines would be as I wake up, I go to the toilet to freshen myself and prepare for the solar. And then I will get ready to go to the class.
Okay, lastly, I want you to tell a bit about your morning routine in a few sentences.
After I woke up, I would just go to the bathroom and take my ablution and perform my subuh prayer.
After I woke up, I would just go to the bathroom and take my ablution and perform my subh prayer.
After I woke up, I would just go to the bathroom and take my ablution and perform my subuh prayer. After I woke up, I would just go to the bathroom and take my ablution and perform my subuh prayer.
Okay, so sister, tell me about your morning routine in 2 sentences.
I start my morning with making my bed and taking a shower. After that, I do my skincare while watching my phone.
I start my morning with making my bed and taking shower. After that, I do my skincare while watching my phone.
I start my morning with making my bed and taking a shower. After that, I do my skincare while watching my phone. I start my morning with making my bed and taking a shower. After that, I do my skincare while watching my phone.
What are the justifications on why there are pronunciation problems and also intonation problems among Malaysian ESL speakers? The first one is due to phonological differences. There are differences between the vowel and consonants quantity in between both the Malay and English language. The English language have 12 vowels and 24 consonants, while the Malay language has 6 vowels and 27 consonants. The first example is participant A, which is Iman. She pronounced the word the as the in part 3. She also pronounced the word there as there in part 3. Participant B, Suchi, pronounced the word the as the in part 3. She also pronounced the word there as there in part 3. The most noticeable example is participant C, which is Bashira. She pronounced the word the as the in part 3. She also pronounced the word there as there in part 3. Lastly, she pronounced the word with as with in part 4, which is spontaneous speech. This happened because the this sound, which is made between the tongue between teeth, also known as interdental, does not exist inside the Malay language. The Malay language has only 7 places of articulation, while English has 8, and it lacks the interdental sound. Since Iman, Suci, and Bashira's first language is Malay, they replace the with the, which is made at the alveolar place. Suci and Bashira's language education background is in Arabic instead of English, which may also affect their pronunciation. Second justification will be the pedagogical practice of teaching pronunciation in schools. Pronunciation is one of the aspects in language that is hard to acquire. However, the reality is that in many ESL classrooms, teaching pronunciation is given the least attention. Skills that are mostly focused on inside the ESL classroom tends to revolve around competence inside the exam, like reading or speaking. There are limited assessments that require learners to show their abilities in pronunciation, and students have limited exposure to the technical practice of pronunciation. As a result, ESL speakers in Malaysia tend to have pronunciation problems later in life when trying to speak English.
So let's move forward to intonation justifications, the role of intonation in communication. Research found that intonation plays a crucial role in speech, as no language is inherently spoken without intonation or specifically referred to as monotone. Intonation facilitates the listener to determine whether the utterance is a statement or question, a command, or a request. The accurate intonation can prevent misunderstandings from occurring in communication. Effects of educational background on intonation. Based on our findings, we observe that the intonation spoken by our participants differ from each other since they are coming from different educational backgrounds. For instance, in the third part of the interview, Suci sounds more monotone in her spontaneous speech compared to her reading task. According to a research, reading uses prosody to aid comprehension as their cognitive resource is freed up by automatic word recognition to produce better prosodic expression. Spontaneous speech, on the other hand, requires more cognitive resources to choose words and construct sentences. As some participants can have similar prosody in their reading and spontaneous speech, Suchi's monotone intonation also might happen due to her early exposure to English, especially at SMKA, since the school is more likely to emphasize the Arabic language compared to English. Neglect of intonation in ESL learning. According to Wang and Zhang, 2024, learners typically focus more on grammar and vocabulary parts only and tend to ignore the essential aspects of learning intonation and pronunciation. This would be the other reason why most of the ESL learners face difficulty in speaking with accurate intonation, just like the students in Malaysia that do not pay much attention to learning precise intonation, which causes them to struggle in expressing emotions and conveying the wrong meaning from what they intend to speak.
In summary, the findings from our research show that English background among ESL speakers has a slightly noticeable impact on the pronunciation and intonation. As Malay language had fewer places of articulation compared to English, our participants tend to pronounce the words differently because of the Malay interference. Some of our participants are able to pronounce the English words, especially those involving incidental sounds, accurately, which might happen due to their English education background at school, where their teacher had emphasized on English pronunciation. Some participants also showed differences in intonation patterns in English, where participants were more likely to sound monotone in spontaneous speech tasks compared to reading tasks. This might happen due to cognitive load because spontaneous speech requires them to focus on vocabulary and grammar instead, which may reduce their prosodic expression. Educational background also plays a vital role as some of the participants are able to have similar prosody in both reading and spontaneous speech.
That's all from us. Thank you for watching. Bye.